But here's one of the big things that I do with life insurance. I become my own bank. I borrow from myself and pay myself back compound interest and not the financial institutions. Let me explain. In your cash value life insurance policies, whether it's whole life or index universal life, you have your cash value and then you have your death benefit, which is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars more. I've done this for 15 years. I just bought a car for my wife. I borrowed $50,000 for my insurance policy. Now, let's just say it's $100,000. And let's say the death benefit is $1,000,000. All right. I borrowed that $50,000 from my cash value. That $100,000 continues to compound. All this $50,000 is a lien against the death benefit. I don't even have to pay it back if I don't want to.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today we're joined by Alan Porter, former Black Hawk helicopter pilot turned financial advisor and founder of Strategic Wealth Strategies. Alan brings a disciplined, strategic mindset, helping individuals and business owners think differently about how they build, structure, and protect their wealth. His approach emphasizes clarity, control, and long-term decision-making, focusing on creating sustainable growth rather than short-term wins. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate being invited.
Now, when we talk about just general foundation steps that people can take right now to secure their financial future, I was mentioning in the green room that unfortunately, sometimes people don't act until it's too late or until their back's up against the wall. But what things can people do right now so that they don't have to, wait until that situation happens?
Well, one of the things I've learned and why I got into this business, like I said, I was a Black Hawk instructor pilot, had a successful real estate and mortgage business, but had some tragic things happen in my family. My son was completely disabled for over 3 years before he got any money from a disability. And his wife was working in a hospital. January 5th changed my entire life, 2010. She called me. She said, Alan, I've been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and they've given me 6 months to live. And of course, we were devastated, but I was like 99% of the people out here that thought life insurance was a death product that you had to die to benefit from it. Well, there's no money coming in. I'm trying to help him out. But little did I know, she had a terminal illness rider on her life insurance policy that let her access the death benefit within 1 year of diagnosis, which was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, completely tax-free, which I knew nothing about. And if it had not been for that, my son would be bankrupt. That took a huge financial strain off of me. Well, my problems didn't end there. She died a year later. But my daughter, who's an oncology nurse and gave birth to my third grandson, was diagnosed with breast cancer and almost died. And the last treatment she had was over $245,000 for an infusion. And if it had not been for insurance, my family would be financially devastated. So people need to, they have the wrong idea about insurance. Insurance protects the family. That's your number one thing people need to do. You need to protect your family. And if I had not had the training that I've done, just when I learned from my daughter-in-law, like I said, I'd be bankrupt.
Now, you mentioned the rider that was attached to that policy so that you could receive, living benefits. When folks are looking at life insurance of all varieties, how important is that type of rider. And is that something that's rather common or is it uncommon?
No, it's common, but people need to understand it. With that rider, that saved my son from bankruptcy, like I said. But we also have long-term care riders. Like, long-term care right now costs between $50 to $200,000 a year. 70% of all Americans will need long-term care at some point in their life. And 40% of all Americans right now between the ages of 18 and 64 are on long-term care.
Hmm.
It goes up by 6% every year. People's fortune, their financial future will be decimated. They have no idea what long-term care will do to their assets.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
It's something that I think most people aren't thinking about because they're thinking, okay, well, I've got enough on my plate right now. If that happens, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But then, of course, your costs go up. That's my understanding, right? It's better to get this coverage in place before it happens because you're able to do it at a more cost-effective rate.
Absolutely. I didn't do this. I'm 73. I didn't start my policies until I was 58 after this happened to my daughter-in-law. If I'd have done this when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't be doing this now. I'd be on some beach living the good life. But I love what I do. I'll never retire unless something happens to my mind. But I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. But, people don't understand. They've all been inundated by the propaganda of Wall Street and certain advisors that the only place to save for your 401k or your retirement plan is in a 401k. But I've got on tape, the founder of the 401k, Ted Benia, says it's a disaster, needs to be replaced. The average fee in a 401k, Dylan, is over 2.99%, and that's by Forbes magazine a lap time. People will lose half of their money, and then they hit with taxes anywhere from 20 to over 55%, and they'll be out of money anywhere from the fifth to the ninth year. The average 401k only lasts 5 to 7 years, and all it does, a 401k does, is compound the risk in retirement, such as sequential returns risk, which 99% of the people do not know about. The #1 fear in retirement is running out of money before you run out of life, government risk, tax risk, the taxation of Social Security, and the means testing for Medicare Part B, and IRMA taxes, which can be tens of thousands of dollars per year for high-income individuals, which are protected from lawsuits, liens, and judgments. It avoids probate. It eliminates or mitigates all the risk in retirement, just like with long-term care. You're paying for long-term care for pennies on the dollar with tax-free money.
Now, does that mean that there's not a place for IRAs, or is it, you might want to have an IRA, but you might want to diversify your long-term retirement strategy?
Listen, I'm not against a stock portfolio whatsoever, okay? But people need to understand it's not about rate of return in retirement. It's about distribution of your assets. For an IRA, you got a stock portfolio, or you're 65, $1 million, supposed to be a 4% distribution rate, index for inflation at 3%. It's supposed to last for 30 years. Well, all my plans go to age 120 or till death. If anything's left in accumulation value, it goes to the beneficiaries. But the big thing too is with that $1 million at 65, you'd only need approximately $650,000 in certain fixed index annuities to give you the same $40,000 a year with increasing income and a guarantee never to have a loss to the market downturn and long-term care options. That leaves you $350,000 to turn it into a Roth and now eliminate more risk in retirement.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I think is tricky for especially young people, because a lot of people, frankly, are trying to figure out, hey, how am I going to get into a house? How am I going to get my first investments, right? And they're not thinking long-term about what if something happens. And it's almost, I don't want to say a level of learned helplessness, but it can be challenging for folks when they're like, hey, I'm just trying to get by, or hey, I'm just trying to get through this flip, etc. And I think people do have to pump the brakes here and say, hey, I know that I've got a lot of spinning plates in the air, but let's take some time. Let's take a week or whatever it is to get my affairs in order. Because if something does happen, I want to have everything be set.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Exactly right. I'll give you a perfect example. This couple, they're 67 and they're retired. They got like $5 million. They have a son that's 42. He had 4 kids, a wife that doesn't work. He died of a heart attack in his driveway washing his car. Now, who do you think's going to raise those kids?
The grandparents.
That's the grandparents. Exactly right. But here's one of the big things that I do with life insurance. I become my own bank. I borrow from myself and pay myself back compound interest and not the financial institutions. Let me explain. In your cash value life insurance policies, whether it's whole life or index universal life, you have your cash value and then you have your death benefit, which is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars more. I've done this for 15 years. I just bought a car for my wife. I borrowed $50,000 for my insurance policy. Now, let's just say it's $100,000. And let's say the death benefit is $1 million. All right. I borrowed that $50,000 from my cash value. That $100,000 continues to compound. All this $50,000 is a lien against the death benefit. I don't even have to pay it back if I don't want to. Now, it grows interest. But what I'm doing, let's say it's a 0% interest for 50 months. So what I do is I pay myself back. I'm going to pay it off in a year anyway, but let's say I paid it $1,000 a month for 50 months. Now, if I paid that to a bank, that $1,000 a month, that money's gone from me forever. It will never compound for me. But when I pay myself back, compound interest for myself, now that $100,000 is not only compounding, but the $1,000 I put in every month compounds on top of that. It's one of the greatest financial vehicles in the world, and why everybody doesn't do this, I don't know. But you've got to build up.
Is there a barrier to entry for that, like a minimum amount you need to put up front in order to get that started?
Well, the thing is, you've got to let it grow. I mean, you can't put money in and in 3 years expect to take a loan from it. I want people to maybe six years down the road. I do this with some real estate investors. They don't go when they get the flip. They get money for do a flip. They get that. They sell the house, pay the loan off. They do it again. It just keeps on rolling. It's one of the greatest things in the world.
I would like to dive in a little bit here and talk about some real estate strategies and how they intersect with tax strategy. I've heard a lot of people recently talking about cost segregation. And, right now, recently, it seems like because of the big, beautiful bill, you have more people who are trying to get that full-time real estate operator status and take advantage of some tax savings. Do you see more people, especially real estate investors, looking into, hey, how can I save more on my taxes, whether it's through that full-time real estate investor status, through cost seg, or through a number of other strategies?
Well, first off, I have a team of specialists I work with. And what I mean by specialist, let's say I'm your family doctor. I can treat you for minor illnesses, minor injuries. But if you want your knee operated on, you want the orthopedic surgeon specialist. And that's what I have in my team, tax-specific attorneys, CPAs, and other specialists in their fields. And we do strategies and we collaborate together to do strategies for people's financial problems. We show people how to reduce and possibly eliminate both debt and taxes. We do tax strategies, possibly tax-free income, tax planning, and the strategies like I mentioned before. But we do asset protection and business exit strategies. And I ask my people about business exit strategies. I said, would you rather pay capital gains tax or get a tax deduction? Well, I want to get a tax deduction, Alan, but how do you do that? Well, it's not how I do it. It's how my team does it. And that's why we collaborate together. But we do charitable gifting, legacy planning, healthcare, reduce healthcare costs. I mean, the list goes on and on what my team does. I got a whole team of people that we collaborate together with. They're all specialists.
When we talk about the kind of vertical integration of everything that you're doing from the financial advising, tax strategy, the life insurance arm of it, what's the biggest mistake or incorrect belief that you see people coming to you that's just flat out wrong?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, first off, they don't believe in life insurance because they've been told the wrong information the whole time. And the other big thing, especially when I talk to them about tax strategies, well, why hasn't my CPA or my advisor ever told me, or my attorney ever told me about this? I have two questions for them. I said, when's the last time any of your advisors ever give you any proactive advice on saving taxes? It's slim to never. And the other question I got for them, listen, I'm not here to replace anybody's advisor, but I want to work with them as a team to give you the best possible scenario. But the other question I have for them, I said, you may have the greatest tax advisors in the world, but it's what they don't know that's going to end up cost you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in undue taxes, fees, and lost opportunity costs.
Yeah.
Now, I just had a doctor. He missed out on $1 million payday because his CPA firm said our tax strategies were wrong. Our tax strategies aren't wrong. We don't operate in the gray area. Okay, I got a tax company, a tax strategy company. They sold $4 billion in income saving in taxes over the last, I think it's 5 to 6 years. We just got all our taxes, our tax strategies vetted for 2026, and there's a bunch of them. Some of them have not, we used last year, we can't use this year, but there's other ones out there, and people need to take advantage of it. And don't rely on what your CPA or your attorney say. Are they the specialist? No, they're not the specialist. That's the big thing, a big thing that people need to understand. And some of these people have been with their advisor for 30 and 40 years, and they don't want to hurt their feelings. Well, I'm sorry, but how much do you want to pay them to not hurt your feelings?
The thing that's challenging about all these fields is that they're changing all the time, and certainly year to year, right? And so for folks to think that someone that they've been with for a long time, just out of pure loyalty, if they're not keeping up with what's current today, they could be missing out on literally, 20, 30, 40, 50% additional tax savings just because of some additional knowledge that the person that they're working with isn't privy to.
I got a case that this guy was a referral to me. He's retired dentist. He's only 51. He sold his practice down in Hilton Head for $8.3 million. We're going to pay most of the taxes or get it all the way down to a 10% tax bracket over the next 4 years for that particular scenario. But I did a tax strategy for him last year, and we were recovering $2,280,000 in taxes he's paid over the last 3 years.
Wow.
And also what we've done is we've turned his 401k, his qualified plans, $1.4 million, paid all the taxes on him and the penalties since he's only 51, and turned it into cash value life insurance that's tax-free, that doesn't just create a legacy for his immediate family, but this is generational income when planned and executed properly. I mean, it's tens of millions of dollars of tax-free money. That's more than he would ever have before with the plan he was doing. And he said, Alan, he says, you've changed my entire life, but why don't people know about this? Like I say all the time, if you think it's too good to be true, it's not too good to be true. It's too good to be free, because there's a cost of doing everything. And here's the thing. There's a cost for doing something, and there's a cost for not doing something. But that cost for not doing something is far greater than the cost for doing something.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think it's just one connection away, especially in the real estate space, one connection away, one key piece of information that can totally change the trajectory of someone's business. And even in that case, someone with high net worth realizing that, look, if I had this, potentially prior, this would have been great, but super grateful to have it now, even after selling his business. Like whenever you can get in, that's the time to get in.
And the thing is, I've got a lady right now that's been in the 1031 exchange business for over 31 years. She knows it like the back of her hand. She'd been to Supreme Court twice, I think, and they all ruled in her favor. But she's just part of my team. But the thing is, people need to understand you don't know what you don't know. And this is where we come. I don't charge my consultations. I want to educate people on what's out there. What I do is I teach them to think outside the box of conventional financial planning. Show them the strategies the wealthy and the banking institutions have been using for years. They use them. Why can't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Make that connection and be your own bank, right? We are coming up on time here, Alan.
Okay.
Any new projects that you're working on? And then as well, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Well, again, there's always tax strategies out there. But you need to protect your family. You do that through life insurance, cash value life insurance, not term insurance, cash value life insurance, whether it's whole life or index universal life. You can call me at 910-551-1046 or email me at strategicwealth0 at gmail.com. But you can also go to my website, which is www.strategicwealthstrategies.com. And I've got a plethora of information in there. I got a YouTube channel on there. I've got over 500 videos. They're anywhere from 26 seconds long to over 18 minutes long, but they're all educational. And people need to take advantage of the education that's out there. And, that could be the greatest 10 minutes of your life.
Absolutely. Alan, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your time.
Well, I appreciate it. And I hope people are interested in what I have to say. And please give me a call. Like I said, I don't charge my consultations.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.